Three rival AI giants just agreed on one single file format. And honestly, this changes absolutely everything. I'm going to show you step by step how this works and why it changes how you build with AI. Anthropic, OpenAI, and Microsoft almost never agree. They fight over models, pricing, safety rules, but they looked at the same gap in AI tooling and all landed on the same fix. Skills. Simple markdown files that hold know-how so your AI agent can do real work. Not just chat. Not just autocomplete. Actual repeatable work. And if you don't get this now, you'll fall behind fast. It's an open format. Write it once, runs everywhere. That alone is huge. And we need to talk about why. Let me back up a bit. Back in October, skills were tiny. You'd save a short note that told Claude how you like your code. Tab sizes, naming rules, maybe your commit message format. Boring stuff. Nobody thought much of it. They were like sticky notes on your desk. Useful for you, but nothing more. Your teammate didn't see them. Your manager didn't know they existed. They lived in a dot file in your home folder, and that was it. But then the shift was fast. Way faster than anyone thought it would be. In just a few months, skills went from personal sticky notes to full org-wide infrastructure. One dev wrote a skill. A teammate saw it work, they wrote two more. A manager saw the output get better and asked the whole team to use the same set. Companies with hundreds of devs all running on shared skill files. The wild part? Nobody planned it. The pattern just worked so well that teams couldn't stop spreading it. And now it's the default way to tell an AI agent how your org works. Here's the part that shocked me. Agents now call skills more than humans do. Not by a little bit, by a lot. Hundreds of calls in a single agent run. The agents found that skills give them a fast path to a good answer. So they chain skills on their own. You don't have to tell them to. They just do it. One skill feeds into the next, and the next, over and over. The agent picks the right skill, runs it, reads the output, and picks the next one. All on its own. It figured out a workflow you didn't even design. Most people miss this next part. Skills aren't locked to one tool. Write a skill for Claude? It runs in Copilot too. It runs in ChatGPT too. It runs in any new agent that pops up next month. That's never happened before in AI tooling. Normally you pick a vendor and you're stuck. Your prompts only work in that one tool. Skills break that wall down. Write once, run everywhere. And that means your work keeps its value no matter which AI tool wins the race. You're not betting on a horse, you're betting on the track. So why should you care? One word, compounding. Think about how you use AI right now. You paste a prompt, you tweak it, you paste it again. Maybe you save it in a doc. But that prompt stays the same forever. It never gets smarter. It never learns from mistakes. It's a dead thing. You paste it and it does exactly what it did last time. No growth, no edge cases, no memory of what went wrong before. Every single time you use it, you start from zero. That's a huge waste of your time and your thinking. Skills flip that around. You fix a bug in your review skill on Monday. By Tuesday, every agent in your org writes better reviews. You add an edge case on Wednesday. By Thursday, 10 agents handle that case right. Every tweak you make ripples out to every agent that calls the skill. It compounds. And here's the kicker. Other people on your team do the same thing. So the skill gets better from multiple directions at once. That's a whole new model for how know-how works in a company. It's not stuck in one person's head. It grows on its own. And right now, the alpha is wide open. Most teams don't even know what skills are. They still use AI like fancy autocomplete. Paste a prompt, get a result, repeat. No compounding, no learning, no edge cases getting better over time. If you start building skills today, you get a head start that grows every single day. And here's the thing about compounding. The gap between skill builders and prompt pastors is about to blow wide open. Every week you wait is another week the early movers pull further ahead. This is one of those rare windows where showing up first matters more than being perfect. So what does a real skill setup look like? The most common pattern is the specialist stack. You've got one skill that writes product specs, one that turns specs into tickets, one that makes test cases, one that reviews code. Each skill does one thing well. They don't overlap. They don't step on each other. You chain them and the output flows from one to the next like water. It's clean, it's fast, and each skill stays small and sharp because it only has one job to do. Then there's the orchestrator pattern. This is where it gets wild. You write one master skill that knows how to break big tasks apart. It splits the work into pieces. It sends each piece to a specialist subagent. Then it pulls all the results back and stitches them into one final output. It's like a project manager who never sleeps, never drops a thread, never forgets what you asked for, never gets confused about which piece goes where. You give it one big ask and it comes back with a complete result built by a team of focused agents working in parallel. You didn't have to manage any of them. Want a real example? There's a real estate company running ops through skills right now. 50,000 lines of skill files, 50 repos. They cover listing rights, contract reviews, client emails, market reports, the whole operation. Their agents do most of the daily work. The humans just check and approve. That's not some far-off future, that's running today. Real money on the line, real output, real scale, and it all started with one person writing one skill file. Okay, how do you build one? Start here. The description line is the most important thing you'll write. It's one line that tells agents what this skill does and when to use it. Most people write vague descriptions and wonder why agents don't pick their skill. Don't do that. Be pushy, be direct. Tell the agent exactly when to grab the skill. If your description is fuzzy, agents skip right past it and use a different one. If it's sharp and clear, they grab it every time. That one line controls whether your skill gets used 100 times a day or sits there doing nothing. See the gap between those two? The bad ones are soft. They could mean anything. The good ones are sharp. They say what, when, and how to use the skill. Your description is a routing signal. The agent scans all skills and picks the best match based on that line. Vague means skipped. Sharp means used. It's really that simple. One line. That's all it takes to make or break a skill. Spend more time on that line than on anything else. The body of your skill is the methodology section, and here's what makes the gap between a good skill and a great one. Don't just list steps, show your thinking. Don't say check for bugs. Say what questions to ask first. Say what to look for and why it matters. The agent needs to think like you think, not just follow a flat list. Give it your reasoning. Give it your instincts. Give it the questions you'd ask yourself if you were doing this by hand. That's the part that turns a checklist into real craft that gets better every time. This sounds odd, but keep your skills short. 100 to 150 lines tops. I know it feels like you need more space when you're trying to capture real expertise, but fat skills confuse agents. They can't find the key parts. They get lost in the noise and miss the important bits. Short, focused, and strong beats long and wishy-washy every single time. If you can't fit everything in 150 lines, that's a sign you've got two skills mashed together. Split them. Make each one sharp. Edge cases are where skills really prove their worth. What happens when the input is empty? What about files you can't read? Code that was auto-made by another tool? What about a PR with 300 changed files? You have to spell all of these out because agents don't guess well. They need clear rules for weird cases, and your output format is a contract. Every single time your skill runs, the output should have the same shape. Same sections, same order, same labels. That's what makes skills work in a chain. The next agent knows exactly what to expect and can parse it clean without any extra work. Here's where it gets really good. When you build skills for agents, not humans, the game changes. Your description is a routing signal that agents use to pick the right tool. Your output is a contract the next agent can read and act on right away. And the whole point is that skills chain together. An agent doesn't use just one skill per task. It grabs 5 or 6 in a row. Each one feeds into the next. That only works when every skill has a clear input shape and a clear output shape. Picture an assembly line. Agent A calls the spec skill, gets a clear output, passes it to Agent B for tickets. Agent B makes the tickets and passes its output to Agent C for tests. Agent C runs the tests and feeds results to Agent D for review. Each handoff is clean. No guessing, no weird formats, no broken parsing. Just clean data going from one skill to the next. That's the power of output contracts, and it's why sloppy skills with messy outputs fall apart the moment you try to chain them with anything else. Here's the catch most people skip entirely. Test your skills, not once. Not by feel. Write real tests. Feed known inputs. Check the outputs match what you expect. Run those tests every time you change the skill. If a test breaks, you know you messed something up before it hits real work. This is actual engineering, not just prompt tweaking. Version control your skills. Put them in Git. Track every change. Roll back when you need to. That's how you build skills that last and get better instead of rotting. There's a concept called basket testing that's huge for skills. Make a basket of 10 to 20 real cases from your actual work. Run your skill on all of them. Score each output on a simple scale. Change the skill, run again. Did the scores go up or down? That's your answer. It's unit testing for AI behavior. And it's the only real way to know your skill is getting better over time instead of just feeling better to you. When teams build skills, 3 tiers show up. Standard, method, personal. Standard skills lock in the basics. Brand voice, code style, doc templates, naming rules. These are the rules the whole team must follow. They're the floor that holds everything up. Method skills are the real gold. They capture craft know-how that's hard to teach. How your best dev debugs production fires at 2 in the morning. How your architect decides when to split a service. That know-how normally lives in one person's head. When they leave, it walks out the door. Skills keep it. Available to every agent and every new hire from day one. Then at the top, personal skills. These are yours and only yours. Your own way of reviewing code. Your format for error notes. Your shortcuts turned into AI behaviors. Nobody tells you to build these. You do it because it makes your tools work the way your brain works. They're honestly the most fun to build because you feel the payoff right away. You write one on Monday, and by Tuesday, your agent acts like a better version of you. Now scale all of this up. Shared skill repos are already popping up everywhere. Healthcare skills for compliance checks, finance skills for risk models, DevOps skills for deployed pipelines, legal skills for contract review. You don't have to start from nothing. Fork a community skill, tweak it for your needs, push your fixes back. When thousands of devs improve the same skill files, quality goes up crazy fast. A fix from a dev in Tokyo makes your agent smarter in New York by the next morning. An edge case caught by a team in London saves you from a bad deploy on Friday afternoon. That's the network effect in action. Let me say this plain. Skills compound, prompts die. Every prompt you write today is gone in a week. Pasted, used, forgotten. Every skill you build today is better in a week. Tested, improved, shared. In 6 months, teams with skill libraries will run circles around teams, still pasting prompts from blog posts. That gap only grows wider, and once it opens up, it's really hard to close. The compounding works against you too. Every day you wait is a day you fall further behind the teams that already started building. Here's your plan for this week. Step 1. Pick your most repeated AI task. Code review, tests, docs, whatever you do over and over again. Step 2. Turn your best prompt for that task into a skill file. Add a sharp description, a method section that shows your thinking, edge cases for weird inputs, and a clear output format. Step 3. Test it on 5 real cases from your actual work. Fix what breaks. Step 4. Share it with your team and watch it get better as others use it and add their own fixes. But here's the real secret nobody tells you. The most important skill to build isn't for code or tests or docs. It's the skill that teaches your agent how to make other skills. Think about that for a second. Once you have that meta skill, your agent watches you work, spots repeating patterns, and drafts brand new skills on its own without you lifting a finger. That's the meta play. That's where compounding turns into something else entirely. Your agent doesn't just use skills anymore, it creates new ones while you sleep. And each new skill it creates can be tested, refined, and shared just like any other. The window is open right now, but it won't last forever. The best time to start was 6 months ago. The second best time is today. Start with one skill this week, just one. That's all it takes to see the difference. Subscribe and I'll show you how to build that meta skill step by step in the next video. Drop a comment with your first skill idea. I read every single one and I'll tell you if your approach is solid or if there's a faster path. The teams that start building today are the ones that win tomorrow. Go build something.